Hello everyone, in this quick video I'll show you how to connect to Windows Remote Management System or WinRM from Linux. We'll look into a tool called Evil-WinRM. There are two different implementations of this. The one is written in Ruby, which is old school, and there's another one written in Python. I'll show you two different tools because there's certain differences and there are certain scenarios where one tool might work and another one might not. So it's always useful to type both. I'll also demonstrate both NTLM authentication and Kerberos authentication because sometimes it's a little bit complicated to make those work with Kerberos, but I'll show you how this works. So let's dive in. First we'll look into Evil-WinRM that's implemented using Rubius. It's written in Rubius, I would say it. Yeah, this is the GitHub. You just type in Evil-WinRM GitHub and it'll bring you to this page. If you're using Kali or Parrot, it's usually installed by default. So let's just demonstrate to you how NTLM authentication works. It's very simple. You just type Evil-WinRM, I for IP address, and my keys it's 192.168.75.132. 75. I got our username and password, and if our user has Windows Remote Management permissions, so it has to be part of Remote Management user scope or needs to be an administrator on this box, we'll connect. Here we go. We connected to our domain controller. This is DC in my case, so type host name. And yeah, this NTLM authentication, very straightforward. To exit, you just type exit. But now let's look at how to do Kerberos authentication. And there are a couple of prerequisites that we need to meet first. Number one, we need to make sure we have installed Kerberos package for Linux. So we can do it by running this command. It's called kb5-user, and we agree. Oops, it's kb5. Yep, that's fine. Yep, that's good. Alright, now that we have this, we should confirm that we have a kb5.conf file. And we do. It has some default stuff which we'll overwrite in a minute, but this is not important right now. Next prerequisite is that we need to have enter for our computer, for the computer we're trying to authenticate to in our host file. Go to, let's see, hosts. Because Kerberos is based on computer names, it relies on DNS heavily. You cannot use IP addresses. So here's my domain controller. It's hide-dc.local. Make sure you have fpdn with DC name first, and you have the domain itself, and then you can have just computer, but it doesn't matter. It has to be in this specific order. Since I already have mine, I'll just close it, but yeah, you can use any text editor of your choice to edit this, and this will work. And next prerequisite is that we need to have that kb5.conf file populate with our target domain information. The easiest way to do this is using netexec. Make sure you have the latest version of netexec. If you go to there, we can just close this. There's this module generate kb5.conf file. It's gonna generate the correct kb5.conf file for our Kerberos authentication to work. So here's the syntax. We don't even need credentials. It will just square the fpdn of the main controller. You don't need authentication to do that. So let's just generate kb5-file and name of the file. And just give it whatever. We'll run this and it configured it. So if we look at it, it looks like this. Basically populated the real name, which is the domain name, and the key distribution server. Distribution center server, which is our domain controller. Now we need to move this file to our kb5.conf under etc. And now that's what it looks like. That's just basically a blueprint for Kerberos authentication on Linux. That's all it does, but it's important to have this. And last step is we need to sync our time with the main controller because, as you know, Kerberos, if there's a clock skew larger than 5 minutes, I think, it will not work. The ticket will not be valid. So let's do that. There's a command called rdate, and we'll specify our target with -n flag, and I just specified the domain. And now we're good to go. So next, we obviously need a ticket granted ticket, or TGT. So let's request it using in-bucket, get tgt.py, and specify our domain, our user, and our password. And here we go, we got a ticket. Now we need to export it. This is the variable Kerberos looks into on Linux, so this is how you define where to look for Kerberos tickets. Alright, so now that we have this, we can actually finally use Kerberos, and to do this, we need to specify the FQDN of the machine we're trying to authenticate to. In my case, it's HIDR PC. And we need to specify the URL, which is the domain info, domain name. We don't need to give it a username or password because it's just gonna get it from our Kerberos ticket. And here we go, authenticate using Kerberos. There are also different options you can explore because sometimes there's SSL, but right now SSL doesn't work. That's why I'll show you the WinRM implementation using Python because in that version it does work. There's some sort of a bug with Rubius where it doesn't work. But yeah, you can specify different port. If it's for some reason on a different port, you can specify URL. It's a different one. And yeah, logs. There are lots of options. I recommend you go to the wiki here, Evil-WinRM, and explore it because there are different things you can do. You can upload files, you can download files, you can load scripts, or you can run commands, which is very cool. So now let's quickly look into Python implementation. It is very similar to the Ruby one. We just have to install it using pip. So to install Kerberos version, we have to specify it's a Kerberos package. So let's do this real quick. I'll use pip-a. Yeah, you wanna break system packages. It always comes up. And it's gonna install it real quick. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, I just had to pause the video. It took a little bit longer than I expected, but now we have it. Evil-WinRM-py, which is a Python version. And as you can see, it's very similar to Evil-WinRM built in Rubius. We still have our IP, username, password, and we can still use Kerberos. So I'll just show you how it works real quick. It's very much similar. You just specify our target, username, password for NTLM, and it will connect. And for Kerberos, instead of -r, it's a little bit different. We'll have to specify First of all, our full name for the main controller, .idc.marvel.local, and specify -k for Kerberos and -no-pass to make sure it doesn't ask us for a password. That will just use a ticket that we exported earlier. And boom, we're logged in. So that's the video. Hope that you enjoyed it, and now you can WinRM using Kerberos and NTLM from your Linux machine to a Windows machine and use it for lateral movement or persistence. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.